All right, we have some information that we're going to review about Apocalypse Kit. And the idea is what are we going to do with Archangel today as for his ISO? We're going to go over that. But first things first, head over to Tana's channel. He has 2 YouTube videos there. I'll link them in the description. And go watch them first. And then you can come back here and you can get my thoughts on what I think about Apocalypse Kit. But also over there, you're going to see Kang, Absorbing Man, and Moonstone. So the rest of the team that works with Ultron and Titania. And what happened is yesterday, there was a push of data to update the Rebirth characters. And with the push of the information to the Rebirth characters, someone over at Scopely made a whoopsie. And they also pushed the data in the JSON files for Apocalypse and those other 3 characters that are supposedly coming next patch. So what this means is a couple things. First of all of this information is data mines. Data mine data is subject to change. What it really does, though, is give us an insight to what the developers are thinking and so that we can plan ahead. What we really need, though, frankly, is information on the additional strike characters that are going to be required to unlock Apocalypse, and we're waiting for that information. Hopefully get it sooner from later. So first things first, this is data mined information. So it's still subject to change. It's definitely a work in progress. We don't know if the build that was accidentally pushed out to the game yesterday is going to be close to the build that was pushed out when the game goes live, when the information goes live on the next patch. And then secondly, all of this is interpretation of the JSON files and based off of Tana's interpretation of the JSON files. And he self-admits that he doesn't always get it right. He did make 2 attempts, and there's even changes in his interpretation between the first video and the second video. So maybe that information is 70-80% accurate. Maybe because it's data mine information that's 90% accurate. I think that this is still kind of speculation land, so we're going to proceed with caution. But we're going to get into the kit, and it looks pretty exciting. First of all, Apocalypse is villain, global mutant support. Again, big shout out to Tana. We're going to go over the passive first. Which looks pretty bonkers. First thing, this is kind of a negative right here. This character cannot be revived. On spawn, gain immunity. Very useful. But more interesting than that, enemies cannot gain immunity before this character's first turn. So he has like an anti-immunity effect for the opponents, which I think is very interesting. Gain max health. Gain 10% focus per horseman, tech, and mutant ally. And then gain 40% crit chance, an additional 15 per villain ally. So right now, of the horsemen, 2 of them are villains. Morgan Le Fay and Archangel are villains. Red Hulk is a hero for some reason, and so is Rogue. So right there, that would be 70% counter chance. Now, we're going to go through the kit, and it looks like there will be a way of running Apocalypse with, let's say, 2 horsemen and 2 other members. So it does have some flexibility. It looks like it's going to be busted arena, but it definitely looks like it's going to be geared to work optimally with horsemen. When this character is stunned, clear stun, clear heal block, heal self for 20% of max health. All right, that's pretty cool. He really can't be stunned. That's great. Now, this is interesting right here. Horseman allies are immune to speed modifier besides slow and speed up. And this is not turn meter removal. This is basically solely an anti-Emma mechanic. So there's an anti-Emma mechanic, or this could be for future characters that have some sort of mechanic like Emma does. That's very powerful. Now, we're going to go to his ultimate next. Well, let's go to his special first, because the special is going to happen before. This is going to basically what's going to be happening turn 1 that he takes the turn. Attack primary and adjacent targets for 350% piercing. If the target has defense up, attack again. So there's going to be a double tap. And then gain 100% drain for this attack. So he's going to be healing up, which is going to be pretty powerful. Apply ability block to primary target up to a maximum of 2 turns, and then redistribute your total squad health evenly. So there's going to balance out the health on the team. I believe that's similar to the way that Scarlet Witch works. Clear all negative effects from self and horseman allies and 2 allies with the highest damage. Apply defense up to a maximum of 2 immunity and safeguards itself and all horsemen allies and 2 allies with the highest damage. So this is what I was saying, that the team could work with 2 other members. So if you wanted to run Apocalypse with 2 other members, like let's say the example that Tana used in his videos, if you want to run it with, for some reason, Dormammu and Doom, you could do that, and that would be fine. Now, this is where, I mean, this seems pretty straightforward. Nothing too bonkers. This is where the kit, in my opinion, gets kind of crazy right here. So this is going to go off turn 2, 10 energy, 8 at the start. So this will pop off turn 2. Clear barrier from all enemies, which is great. Attack all enemies for damage plus drain. Flip defense up and 2 other positive effects on each enemy. Apply trauma for 1 turn to each enemy. And now, I can't state how busted trauma is. Trauma is a very, 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 very powerful mechanic. Gain Empower. And we're going to talk about Empower, because Empower is basically going to work on his basic attack. And his basic attack is going to be delete a character, basically, or pretty close to delete a character. When he has this Empower, it's going to only pop off. And the thing about when he's empowered, once he's empowered, he has to do a basic attack. He can't do the special and can't do the ultimate. He's going to do an empowered basic attack, which is broken. It's so good. Now, this is also super, super, super busted right here. Grant all horsemen allies 60% speed bar. So he's going to do this. And then the horsemen are most likely going to be, you're going to have 4 horsemen take, we have to see how this plays out, but I could very likely see a situation where Apocalypse does this move, then all the horsemen take a turn. The other 4 horsemen take a turn right after him. I mean, it's likely, right? This attack can't be blocked, countered, unavoidable. Okay, so now he has empowered. What does his empowered basic attack do? Steal 60% of the primary target's max health. Ignores death proof, unavoidable, and cannot be blocked. Remove Empower. There's a good chance this is going to kill something right there. It's just going to kill a character right there on the spot. Not garbage. And then his Empowered will be gone. Then we're going to go over his basic attack. His basic attack, gain offense up and speed up for 1 turn, which is really good. Heal self for 5% of max health. Attack primary target for 400% damage and 100% drain. This attack cannot be blocked and unavoidable. And then we've got a couple more pieces of information here. That was in the data file that applies to what we were talking at the beginning of the video. We're going to look at Apocalypse ISO counterattack assist, and then we're also going to talk. We're going to look at Archangel's awakened abilities. So Apocalypse ISO counter assist, gain offense up and speed up for 1 turn. That seems very good. So that means on turn 1 and 2, if there's a vulnerable up there, then he'll get the second attack from the striker, and then he'll be giving himself offense up and speed up, plus heal self for 5%, do damage with drain, cannot be blocked, unavoidable. So it seems very likely from my initial take, if this information is accurate, that he'll be a striker. I don't know what other choice. For me, it just seems like, wow, he's got to be a striker. Then that's starting to run into problems with other characters because, a lot of people like Morgan Le Fay is striker. There's always been a debate on Red Hulk. Should he be striker or should he be Raider? I ended up Raider on him. And then Archangel, probably optimally, in raids, you want to be striker because there's the Dark Beast assist mechanic. So my suggestion on Archangel up until now has been don't go to 4, do Striker 3. And I'm glad I did because maybe now I want to do Raider on him. We're going to talk about that. So anyways, this leads to the conclusion that I'm going to want Apocalypse to be a Striker. Now we have 2 more pieces of information before we go back to the original slide. And this is for the passive and the ultimate on Archangel and his empowered abilities. And from what I could see is that on kill, generate ability for self, Horseman, Apocalypse, allies down here. And it doesn't read this way in game right now. On this character or Death Seed ally crit, heal self, Horseman, Apocalypse, and all Death Seed allies for 3%. And then he's also giving armor to Death Seed, Horseman, Apocalypse allies, 30% armor. And then also crit chance is going to go up on Death Seed, Horseman, and Apocalypse allies, also gain a 15% crit chance. And then his ultimate, a little bit slightly different here. It looks like, and again, all of this is subject to change. Can't be a blocked with Apocalypse and at least 2 Horseman allies. Extends buff on all Horsemen and Apocalypse in arena with Apocalypse and at least 2 Horseman allies. So back to the original side, which we started this video off, is now that you have seen Apocalypse Kip at ISO for Archangel. So there's a lot. I don't think there's one correct answer on this. And what I'm happy with, and of course, all of this is subject to change. We're gonna have to wait and see. But right now, Striker is being used by a lot of people inside of raids to get the assist from Dark Beast. They get the triple tap combo to take advantage of Striker Skirmisher combo. But you can't have all Strikers on the team. There is some advantages to being Raider as Archangel. First of all, he gives himself an additional crit chance. And then also he has a very minor thing when he does a crit, he heals up the team. It's a small amount. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to leave Striker at Blue ISO 3, and then I'm going to do Raider on Blue ISO 4. I think the smart thing to do, of course, is to wait and see until we get an official announcement from Scopely, or wait until like all the Krakens and everybody does it, because going to Blue ISO 4 is pretty expensive. But you could also make a case that they're running through Death Seed and Archangel are running through the Doom raids, so it doesn't really matter what you do. It's only going to matter in arena. So, but to unlock a baby Apocalypse, you're going to have to make a decision, and I'm going to most likely do Raider, and hopefully I don't regret it. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and again, head over to Tana's channel if you want to see not only his take on Apocalypse, but also he's got the information there for Kang, which is a little bit of a letdown in my opinion, Moonshine, and Absorbing Man. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and keep on getting. Bye for now. Moonstone, Moonshine, Moonstone.